Hello, babies. Hi. How are you, my cuties? My sugar butts? My little sweetums? My little turkey legs? How are you? I hope this video finds you well. This is a general message, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Whenever you find it, it is the right time. Please use your own discernment. Also, I meant to say, because it's timeless. Please use your own discernment and intuition. Don't make it fit if it's not your message. I will never reach out to you for a personal reading. That is not me. Please report that person. This is my only platform as of now, which is YouTube. As of now. We'll see. But I will let you know. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? I woke up this morning and the song that was in my head was Throw It in the Bag by Fabulous. You already know what it is. We got another one, boy. Just throw it in the bag. Yeah, oh man, I got that black Amex with me, aka the throw it in the bag card. Radio killer. No, now I know you ain't over there staring at my girl. Yeah, I know you ain't over there staring at my girl. I know you don't call yourself hollering at my girl. Now, I know you don't call yourself hollering at my girl. I keep her... I don't know how to pronounce that name. Louis Vuitton, we'll say that one because I know that one. Gucci down to her feet. Yep, just like me. I'm the one with them ones. Fuck the price tag. Just throw it in the bag. Look at price tags where they do that at. Heard that in ATL when I'm in ATL. Just ask my baby girl. I treat that lady well. Ain't nothing so-so. I know JD well. A couple Benzes, black, white, gray. Did we miss the Mercedes sale? Okay, I get it now. So the card that I got here is service. And that's kind of like just the overall vibe of this reading that I'm getting is I feel good when I can help others. Oh, sorry about that. Oopsie, yawning. And we have patience. And the clock is on 10:10 on that card. And we have healer of ages. So what you're getting here is, you're getting rewarded for all the help and healing you've done for people and on yourself. So that's why these, manifestations are coming in, that money, like you're going to be in that energy that just throw it in the bag. I don't have to look at price tags where they do that at. Just throw it in the bag. You're getting rewarded for that. And of course, the most annoying thing to be told is patience. And that's with divine timing, because I'm getting here that there's some healing that still needs to be done, which is around self-worth. And we also have change here. So we have, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So there's some sort of change you have to make in order, like say you've got somebody hanging around in your energy that would sabotage this blessing, this manifestation. Then you would have to get them out because, Most High, your universe, whatever you believe in, isn't going to give this to you if that person just doesn't deserve it. Because then you would be sharing it with that person and they don't deserve it. And that's why you're like, yo, where the fuck's my manifestations at? And because there's people lingering about. And, or if you've done that work, there's some self-worth stuff that you have to keep working on. Yo, what do we say? Whoa, I have financial constraints at the bottom of the deck. So there's some, especially with that picture there, there's some lack mindset stuff going on, right? I saw something moving, but it was just a cord. So there's some financial constraints going on. Like there's some lack mindset that needs to be looked at and, surrender deeper into your faith. That's number 13. I'm called out to do that. That may be significant to you. And I'm getting, like, you've been tested. So, like, you've been tested in situations and you kind of, you didn't know it was a test and you fell back into that lack mindset. Because you're like, oh, well, what if I have this? And, like, so you say you really needed to go out. Oh, buy groceries. Sorry, I'm yawning so much. Yeah, so you needed to go out and buy like groceries or something, and like you didn't, or you didn't buy like something you really wanted because you were like, oh, well, I need to be like super strict, and you got like anxious about spending money, or you needed some things and then you just sat on it because you got like in this, like, you couldn't be decisive about it, even though, so like that held you back from this manifestation. Like say you have something in your Amazon cart and you're like, it's like stuff that you like actually need and you're like, oh, I should probably wait, like, is this a frivolous purchase or something, like, or you're like, oh, maybe I need to wait, maybe I do need to do this, blah 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 blah, and then you get like, or you go down this like rabbit hole of like, oh, I need to save my money, or is this like, you get into this indecisive like questioning energy, and that's like, I mean, take it how it resonates, it could be anything, but that is like you going back into that lack mindset of like, there's nothing left, I don't want to be like draining it all, that type of thing. And with the spider webs on that card, you're being asked to like allow like open yourself to allow like blessings and stuff to happen. And because you might think like, oh, well, it needs to, because your logical mind, your ego wants it in a way that makes sense, right? When you could get money from anywhere, you could be like walking on the street and find a big old wad of cash. So you're being asked to, with those spider webs, to be more open to getting these blessings in surprising ways versus like, oh, the bonus at work or whatever, that type of thing. Or there might just be like a fixed way, like even with the whole like finding a wad of cash on the street, that might be your only way of like, oh, that's the only way I can get money or whatever. Or being open to like maybe somebody giving you groceries, like they didn't give you the money or anything, but they're like, hey, I have to leave town to go take care of my mother, come and I'm gonna empty out my fridge and give it all to you or whatever. Like there's other ways that this can happen, and there might be some limiting, because your logical mind wants it a certain way. And honestly, like you could even like manifest just your money, you spending your money, because anything is possible, right? Like you spending your money and then nothing coming out of your account, or you go to look at it and nothing's changed and you're like, damn, I just spent like $200, what the hell? And nothing changed. So that's a possibility too. So we have the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. Yeah, so like instead of like getting into, there needs to be some like security work done, like self-worth, feeling safe in your energy, feeling safe in where you are right now, even no matter the circumstances, so you can listen to your intuition and be guided to, oh, I need to go to this place because I'm gonna gain some more abundance there. Okay. Yeah. We have third chakra, Chamuel. It's interesting because the third chakra is your solar plexus, but they've highlighted his heart. So, instead of allowing like the imbalance in your root chakra, like, oh, I'm not safe, like, what if this happens, what if this, blah blah blah, getting that anxiety feeling, especially because, like, I mean, this message is timeless, but I'm recording it during, you know, holiday season when people are shopping and buying gifts for people and stuff like that, and that creates a lot of anxiety around money and safety and making sure you have enough, that type of thing. Especially because you're like missing work because of the holidays, or, you know, whatever, unless you work like healthcare or something of that sort, you know, first responders, then you don't. But or, you know, restaurant workers, whatever. But there's like this anxiety, this culminate, like universal, like not universal, just across the world, it's like a all of society is feeling this. It's a community, like, I can't think of the word I want to use, but it's where everyone is, you know, feeling this anxious anxiety around money. So you have to like you might be picking that up from other people. You might be, if this, you know, if you really haven't, you've been really good about having your faith and stuff like that when it comes to money, you might be picking this up from others around you, you know, because that's just like a cumulative thing. Like people around everywhere are feeling this, especially if they're not, you know, doing the work on their lack mindset or anything of that sort. And just the holidays bring that up. You know, tension between family members, or just like tension in general, like people start acting all crazy at the store, like especially like Black Friday when there's like sales, you know, that's lack mindset. You know, like getting to, you know, when they're like pummeling each other over a freaking TV, that's lack mindset. That's like, and that is like how people, like these big corporations and stuff, work with the enemy to put you in that fear state, to control you and have people acting crazy. So it's like trusting in yourself and in your intuition and your inner knowing that you can generate energy, especially since the heart and the solar plexus are highlighted on that image. You can generate the energy and create anything you want, and trusting yourself in that, you know, just throw it in the bag. Oh, 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 just throw it in the bag. Yeah, so if you've been like really good about I mean, we all have some sort of lack mindset that's been placed upon us that we need to still keep working on. It could be, it doesn't have to be around finances, it could be around love. Maybe you don't believe you're abundant in health, you know, that type of thing. And those all need to be looked at. Like, you might be very good when it comes to money, but you don't feel very abundant when it comes to love. So you attract or settle for like unfulfilling relationships or something of the sort, you know, that type of thing. Or you don't feel abundant when it comes to friendships and stuff like that. How perfect, because we got the woman holding a heart when we're talking about love. So twice the heart is highlighted here, the heart space is highlighted here. Ooh, yeah, we have storm warning. So you might be picking up a lot of like anxiety from people. I was just gonna say, like, someone's baby mama, baby daddy, like, say you have to, you're, even if you aren't with this person, or you're still trying to like co-parent or something, and it could just be your partner that you're still choosing to stay with even though you're fucking miserable. Yeah, I said it, bitch. Even though, like, so you're still trying to co-parent or whatever, and they're like super anxious, they're super lack mindset, or whatever, being weird about money, you're taking that on, and that's like hitting you in the heart. And like, I'm getting that like anxiety, like heart pounding feeling when it comes to money and stuff like that. So that's like protecting your energy and knowing what's yours and what isn't yours, so you're not taking on this collective, yeah, that's the freaking word I wanted to use earlier, collective anxiety around money, abundance, the holidays, that type of thing, or that just collective fear that kind of gets stirred up just in general, because they do the media stuff, they do the some sort of fear mongering in some way. They're always doing the next story to put you in an anxious, jittery state. Damn, and guess what came out? Storm warning, bitch. Yeah, so like, my spirit team's like, did I stutter, bitch? I know you ain't over there staring at my girl. So that's like that lack mindset. Like, you better not be looking at that. I want that jacket, damn it. I've only been like Black Friday like shopping, in the US, obviously. So, but I've only been Black Friday shopping like a couple times, and I went with my mom when I was younger. It was like 4 a.m. whatever, and this like frail ass old lady, like, I'm looking at these candles. I wasn't even gonna get it because I was just like bored and I had like no interest of like anything of the sort. So I'm like looking at these candles, I pick it up, I smell it, and this lady rammed her shopping cart into me. Frail old lady, and she's like, that was mine. And I was like, you can fucking have it, bitch. Okay. Like, and I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. And because, I'm not very good at handling things. Well, then I wasn't very good at managing my anger and like understanding when to let it loose and when to not. And so I grabbed the shopping cart from her and pushed her back. Yup. I don't give a fuck if you're an old lady, I'll fight back, bitch. I'm an equal opportunity fighter. Yeah, so this like storm warning, like, just be mindful that you're not, and this might just be a warning that you're picking up other shit, and be mindful that you're not like acting, just how I felt the need to tell you that story, like, you're not acting into the like collective energy that's like that fear, wanting to fight over things, wanting to control. Around the holidays and stuff, there seems to be a lot of like family dynamics where things get super controlling, and they're like agitated if you're in the kitchen because they're stressed out and it needs to be a certain way, and there's some like unwritten expectation of how the meal needs to be. And so this person, people get like agitated and like, get the fuck out of the kitchen, you're annoying me, like that right there is like something that needs to be looked at. So if this is you, which I can be that person too, I have this like perfection mindset, like, oh, it needs to come out this way. So I get agitated when people are like helping, and I put it in quotes, helping, because it's not the way I want them to be. They're not doing it right, damn it. That right there needs to be looked at. And because that's not the point of like the whole situation. You know, you just, there's like some unwritten expectation of like how it's supposed to be, and that causes like tension and stuff like that. Like, you know, this turbulence and clapping back and being snippy and shitty and whatever. Yeah, and with the world card being there, like the whole world's experiencing that right now, that tension, that lack mindset. So there needs to be like protecting your energy when you know, you're getting around these people. Especially with that, like all of those things coming up. And it just, I will say, like, sometimes I fall into those old ways where, like, the other day I was driving to work, and this guy was like going, like, just on my bumper, on my rear bumper, and just like throwing his hands up in the air, like, because I'm driving slow. I'm like, dude, there's like cars in front of me, like, what the fuck? And so then part of me, because he like wouldn't stop, and then he tried passing me, and so I like swerved, so he like couldn't get, like, I was just like straddling the line so he couldn't pass me, and I was just like, fuck you, dude. Like, but I was like laughing, so like I can fall back into those old like, I was like, I wasn't mad per se, but I was like laughing at the fact, I'm like, oh, you want to be in a bad mood, bitch? I don't give a fuck, I'll make it worse. Like, so that my shadow came out in that moment. So just, and I was like, I felt like his energy of his like agitation and like anger and stuff, so I was like, oh, bitch, you want to play? Okay. I'll make your day way worse then. So, you know, we can all fall back into that shit. Like, we have anxiety here, and that's like literally what I've been saying this whole time. That's collective anxiety with that world card in there. So make sure that you're protecting your energy, you're grounding, you're doing something for yourself, because it can be really easy to fall back into that. And like, I've just felt it as it's gotten closer to, you know, here in the US, Thanksgiving. And it's gotten like more intense, because there's just like a different flavor of anxiety and stuff like that when it comes to like the holidays. Like, there's other times where you feel it, like when they're making some new fucking strain of flu to be stressing about, you know, that type of thing. But there's a certain flavor to the holiday season, and I definitely felt it, and I allowed it to put me in my shithead energy, where I was like, oh, bitch, you want to fucking, like, when I should have just like left it alone. I should have been like, let crazy be crazy, because honestly, I pissed him off so bad. He was like extra road ragey. Like, I was just like, I mean, he quit. He wasn't riding people's asses after that. Like, he wasn't on their bumper anymore, but I was just watching him after, like, because I was like, fine, I'll let him pass. But yeah, he was extra road ragey. He was like swerving between people and stuff like that. I'm always yelling like, bitch, I need a new bumper, hit me. And I couldn't help but laugh, because I was like, dude, what are you rushing for? Like, do you have to shit or something? Because like, really, like, this is on, you know, just chill out. There's no need. So make sure that you're, because we've all done the work to where it's like, okay, for me, I really don't like being late. And I used to like stress out, and like, if I was ever late, like, and to late to me is like being on time. And So I would get like super anxiety and like drive like that. But now I've caught myself doing that. I'm like, it's not like I'm never late. So literally, like, you know, because late to me is like, you know, say I need to be at work at 6 or whatever, being there right at 6 would be like late to me. And I don't like that feeling. But if I'm ever at that point where I'm running late or something, I don't get into that anxiety anymore, because I was like, I'm not gonna get fired over that. And if they do, then like I've been in a situation where they tried to fire me over like ridiculous shit. Just because they didn't like me. I put pressure on my boss's neck. If you have like and it's not my current job now, but like when I worked in healthcare, I had pointed out a scheduling issue, because we had to like take call and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, a person can't be on call and working a shift at the same time. That's, you know, we need another person. And because I pointed it out in a meeting and embarrassed her, I was, what is it? Questioning authority, management, something of the sort. They wrote me up for that, and they were like, at that point, I was a target because I pointed out her flaws. So, so right now, and the reason I might be needing to tell you that story is like with the sun here. During these times, you might be highlighting people's flaws. Say if you have an agitated grandmother that when cooking, you know, get out of the fucking kitchen, you're in the way, goddamn, you're cutting the potatoes wrong, that type of stuff. You need to find like solace and respite, but like to, am I pronouncing that word right? Respite? Someone can tell me. 444 on my clock. Because your energy, especially because you haven't seen your family, or there's just, like I said, that collective anxiety with that world card and the anxiety card here. With storm warning, I think this is just like a heads up, like, yo, you're gonna, if you haven't been around these people, or just like you being in your high vibration and working on yourself and choosing not to like get your feathers ruffled and stirred up by this, you know, collective, it's like how the enemy works. Like, we need to put anxiety and fear around this holiday, and, you know, just it's injected into people through, you know, commercials, signage, and verbiage at stores, and through like workers and stuff like that. It's all yeah, we have the man holding a heart in reverse at the bottom of the deck. That's kind of reminding me of like the King of Cups in reverse, where it's like that emotional terrorism, like learning how to create an emotion for somebody. And like, who, you know, a person that was really good at that was Hitler. I'm just gonna be real. Like, he was really good at creating emotions within people in the way he delivered. Like, I'm not saying I agree with what he was or anything of that sort. I do not agree with that. But he was very good he was smart in a way of understanding psychology and stirring people up and creating emotions within them to control them. And that's what's occurring right now. That's such a harsh example, but, you know, sometimes it needs to be compared. Like, now it's more insidious because, you know, it's easy to be like, oh, well, it's just always been that way. You know, people get stressed around the holidays. That's an injection of fear through, you know, manipulation and creating this. You know, you should be like, oh, I'm happy to buy a gift for a person. Usually that should be like a joyous thing or something of the sort. And then you go to the store, and then, you know, the way things are perfectly placed and wording, suddenly you walk in and there's just like this agitation, this shaking feeling, like you, the best way to describe it is like, I don't know if you, like for me, if I'm around like loud noise all day, which I am at work, I have to like take a break from it, because if I don't, it's like too much stimulation. That's what they're creating in these stores and stuff like that. And, you know, just collectively, they're really good at that. And that's why we have that collective anxiety, is it just gets ramped up. And it might be even worse now, because more people are awakening, more people are becoming more sovereign in themselves and not buying into the fear and anxiety anymore. And so now they're, you know, ramping up how to stir up the shit pot, you know, that type of thing. How to overstimulate you to where it's like wearing you down to get you in that anxious feeling. This reading developed into something else. So I guess the best advice here would be the sun, you know, find your own little solace and catch yourself when you're like feeling that anxiety, because that's not yours. You have no need to fear. You have no need to worry. Your money is good. You're going to be blessed just because you are of service to people. You are helping others. Okay, so this might also be with that service card. This is, you know, your call to hold that stable frequency and pull people out of that fear and anxiety during these times. You know, if you got to be around your family for the holidays or whatever, pulling them out of it, like, or just, you know, holding that space and letting them like, yeah, get the fuck out, blah, blah, blah. Why are you angry? What can I do? Like, you know, just diffusing the situation. Or, you know, like me when I let my shadow out. Just making it worse. Be like, oh, you thought you were already having a bad day, dickhead. Oh, I'll be better next time. Yeah, so like you're being asked to, yeah, so don't let this, we have blossoming abundance and it's in reverse. Don't let this collective anxiety and stuff like that, the storm warning, the fear mongering, the perfectly placed ads that make you anxious, the type of music they're playing at the certain frequency and level in the store, you know, all this stuff, wherever you're going. Because you're noticing it, like people driving crazier, that type of thing. It's just that collective anxiety. Don't allow yourself to get pulled into it. Hold that frequency, because you're going to be blessed for that. That's like your job, you know, from Most High right now, is to hold that frequency and pull people out of this collective anxiety and that fear mongering and stuff like that. Holding that frequency. So, and you will be greatly rewarded for it if you can hold that frequency and stay in your strong self through all of this. And that's where, like, you know, with this patience and blossoming abundance, that's because you have been of service with the healer of all ages. You're helping people heal and ground them and question, be like, oh yeah, why am I mad? Why am I being like in that, oh, they only have 5 TVs that are on sale at 80% off. I gotta go get it. I'm ready to fight somebody for it. Why? Yo, chill. Fight somebody for a fucking TV? Okay. You know, maybe that's just questioning somebody. Or, you know, if maybe someone's about to duke it out and you're like, yo, calm down. Over what? You know, like certain families, they'll like get a little liquor in them, you know, they're all hanging out, and suddenly just, you know, the brother that's beefing with the other brother walks in the door and they're both just like, this is exhausting. Like, y'all need to get over your fucking beef or get the fuck out. Like, and I feel like you're being asked to be the person to be the voice of logic, the voice of reason, or, and hold that like stable frequency during these times, because people lose their motherfucking mind. And because there's so much work from the enemy just being placed upon us, like I said, like the propaganda and stuff like that with Hitler. It was placed and worded, the right colors, everything was put in a certain way to evoke a certain emotion out of people, to recruit them or, control them. So that's all being done. And so, as you're awakening and becoming more aware of things, I just saw the 5th chakra at the bottom of the deck. Use your voice to be like, yo, this is just some weird fear, anxiety stuff. We don't need to be in this. However you need to word it. Obviously, use your own flavor of like how you can diffuse the situation, and bring people to earth here and be like, yo, you do not pull them out of this like fear injection, like these emotions that get evoked from product placement, advertisements, music, just to the level of like how loud they're playing the music in the stores, that type of thing, or just that collective energy. It might just be people don't know they're sensitive and they're picking up on that fear and anxiety. So helping them ground and just being that person of like, hey, we literally have no reason to worry here. Okay? And that, like, by you doing this job during this time where things are just like ramping up like crazy for anxiety and fear and stuff like that, like extra because of the people like awakening and stuff like that, you're gonna get greatly rewarded for it. That's like your little job. And that with that change card, that might also be like how you've handled past situations before. And just like me being like, oh bitch, you think you already having a bad day. Like, I could have done better. I could have just like let it go. But I was just like, oh, okay, let's go, bitch. Like, I'm gonna trigger you even further, bitch. I could have handled that better. I'm just gonna be real. And with that comes the door to personal healing and happiness. You're placed on this earth as a healer of all ages, a healer of the ages. So you're meant to show people the way, the path, open the door, if you will, while they're in this like storm and anxiety, just being affected by the collective mess that is. You can show them that door to respite. I think that's how it's pronounced, respite, yeah. It sounded better that time. You can just be like, hey, come over here. Let me show you a whole new world. Because you're acting like a crazy pants and you really have no reason to. You're falling into the bullshit. You've fallen into the trap door that they created for you. Let's get you out of that trap, okay? Anything else? Rest and rejuvenation. So while you're this person that's, being placed strategically to help people, overcome this collective anxiety, the fear-mongering, that type of thing, you have to find place for yourself to like ground that energy, because you're taking it on essentially. You're being a grounding rod for these people and like absorbing it for them, because you do have the strength to do so and you know how to alchemize it. So making sure that you have alone time to get away from that, to where you're not absorbing that anymore and you can just flush it through and come back to center. So remind yourself to do that through these times. If that even means just like go sitting on the toilet for a while and doing a pretend to shit. So you can just like breathe it out and like ground while you're like, man, these people are fucking nuts, man. But like, you need to take that on for them because they're not as aware yet, and you can easily alchemize and ground this energy for them. Yeah, and this is just you catching your emotions with this goddess of the moon. And we have the number 52, which is like accountability in relationships. So, you know, obviously don't like let people like walk all over you like a doormat, but like understanding like, oh, okay, this is how this person's feeling. Okay. And like being more forgiving, but you don't call a motherfucker out if they're just like being on full blown crazy time. You know, you can't, you know when to put your foot down and be like, you're being a nutbag, stop, or I'm leaving. And that might be you having to, if they don't want to be helped and they just want to be on demon time, then that's when you have to, maybe by you leaving that situation and be like, I'm not going to put up with your crazy ass right now, I'm leaving. By you leaving and putting that boundary up, that is going to help them. If they're just, nothing else is working, that will help them, you know, be like, oh shit, they weren't fucking around. Like however that ends up being, it's divinely orchestrated. So don't worry, you know, if it sucks that you're like, damn, I had to leave my family's like gathering or whatever, or, you know, Christmas party, whatever it is, group hang, you know, whatever. By you putting that boundary down is showing them the truth as well. Like, oh, my behavior did that. Okay. And that might take them time to recognize that and see it for what it is, but it was divinely orchestrated. So don't worry. And, you know, it sucks, but sometimes you got to be that person and make a dramatic exit, if you will. Magician in the mirror. So you'll be asked, you're going to be guided on how to like handle these situations perfectly. And I'm not saying like you're essentially manipulating people, but it's like you're manipulating them into like being in a better mood. It's like it's like coercing a child to eat or something, you know, like, hey, so this is the only time we're gonna have food here, like, and we need to go, like, you know, whatever. Like, you know, convince people to be like, you know, however it needs to be. I just see people like convincing them to be like, you don't have to be in a crazy ass mood. How about we do this? You know, pulling them away and like distracting them. It will help pull them out of that like anxiety and anger and fear and all of that. And yeah, just because like this guy is like older, I'm seeing that as like your wisdom and using your little charming way of like pulling these people out. Like, yes, it is technically manipulation, but sometimes that's how it has to go. Like, you have to manipulate the energy to like this. That's why you are taking this on, taking these heavy energies on, because you're absorbing it for them in a way that is energy manipulation. I'm not saying like steal from them or do anything like that, but it's like you're able to shift them into a better timeline by pulling them out of that fear and anxiety, by saying certain things a certain way and, you know, distracting them, doing that type of thing. I know that sounds bad, but that's essentially what's happening. And I don't mean it in that like toxic way. It's just literally helping them be in a better vibration. Yeah, and we have the angel of balance. That's just you helping them come into balance. All right, babies, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm so glad you're here. I thank you all for your amazing, generous donations. Seriously, thank you all. That makes me feel so loved and blessed. Thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, okay? Love you, bye.